Hi, after 10 years in my office, I finally decided it was time I pulled it together and tried to make a more decorated, nice looking office so things look kind of bare today. I'm stripping things down so that I can paint my walls. And I decided that I would take advantage of the opportunity in doing that to maybe demonstrate some of the different types of painter's tapes that we have available, and to maybe even show demonstrations of how well they work compared to each other. There are many manufacturers who make a line of painter's tape, and we represent Sure Tape. They're one of our largest tape manufacturers, and they have a full line of products. So I wanted to kind of first talk through some of the products that they manufacture and that I am going to be using in my painting. One of the products that is primarily used and people most recognize is the blue painter's tape. And you've probably seen in some of the content on the website and even in some blogs that I've written and articles that blue painter's tape is really manufactured for outdoor painting, where you can leave it outside for up to 14 days. There are some lesser expensive products that will make it maybe 7 days outdoors without leaving a residue and still remove cleanly. That can be used for indoor painting, but you are paying a premium price for that UV resistant adhesive and backing. But blue painter's tape, we do carry the CP49 that Sure Tape manufactures. It's a very good medium adhesion level, so if you are painting off walls, wanting to hold up poly tarps to cover areas that you don't want to get splattered with paint, this would be a product that would work for that. However, if you want to save money and it's not so important to you, what I would recommend would be to consider one of the good quality indoor paint masking tapes that is in your traditional vanilla color. This is Sure Tape's CP66. It is a very good quality industrial grade, contractor's grade masking tape that is designed for indoor use for masking off areas for painting. This has a pretty high adhesion level as compared to a blue painter's tape, so you can see it's a very slow, tighter unwind than the blue painter's tape, and that's because the adhesive is more aggressive. This probably would work even better when you do have poly tarps that you're trying to hold up from the ceiling down the walls, to splice them together to cover the floors, to protect your flooring, your carpeting, etc. This product will give you a nice clean paint edge. It will remove cleanly without leaving a residue, and you will spend almost half the price to purchase this versus this. So I would definitely consider it, and you'll see later in the video I have taped off some of my walls using the regular colored masking tape versus the blue painter's tape or some of these other products that are in the line. Another product that Sure Tape manufactures is kind of a light green color. This particular product, their CP20, is an indoor painting tape that you can leave on the walls for up to 8 days and it still removed cleanly. This does have a medium adhesion, so it may be okay for holding up poly tarps and stuff like that. They also say it is really good for adhering to sheetrock and drywall and painted wood, so it would also be a really good masking tape if you are wanting to mask off your trim, your baseboards, things like that, doors, stuff like that, where you're applying the tape to painted wood. Another product that Sure Tape manufactures is their Delicate Surface painter's tape. This is also a light green, but it is a little bit lighter green than the first product that I showed you. Excuse me. This particular product is really designed, it's a very low adhesion, so if you've got some wallpapered areas that you need to mask off, maybe you're going to paint trim, and you've got a wallpapered wall, you can use this product to adhere to the wallpapered wall, and it shouldn't tear or destroy or damage the wallpaper. Also, if there are some other delicate surfaces that you are concerned about a higher adhesion on a masking tape, this would be a product you'd want to look to. You do not want to use these delicate surface painter's tapes to hold up polytarps. They just don't have the adhesion level. They don't probably stick all that well to sheetrock and drywalled areas. And if there is a dusty area like on baseboards and things like that, the dust will get in the adhesive and pretty much deaden it. It is so light, and you'll have the tape fall off. So you have a very specific application where you would need these delicate surface low adhesion tapes. The other product is a yellow painter's tape. This is SureTape CP60. This particular product also can be used in delicate surfaces. It does have a fairly low to medium adhesion level, but this product I recommend when you are trying to do decorative or faux finishes and you're going to be painting stripes on a wall, and maybe the wall's already had a coat of paint on it, you want to mask it off, so you're going to paint some stripes or some other decorative finish or features to the wall, and you need a product that you want a clean, sharp paint line. They recommend this yellow CP60 for that type of painting. Again, you would not want to use this lower adhesion product to adhere up on a ceiling or something like that and try to support the weight of a polytarp or plastic sheeting. It's just not going to hold it. So the next parts of this video you will see these products actually being used, and I will demonstrate how some of them work, and then once the painting's done we will come back and demonstrate in the video how easily the tape comes off and how clean and sharp the paint lines are, or if there are any issues with paint bleeding through the edges and other concerns that people have, or problems that people have or are concerned about when they're selecting the masking tapes that they use for their painting jobs. I've masked off the window area, and I've used two different tapes, the blue painter's tape. I've done one half of the window with it, and then the other half of the window has been taped off with the CP66, just the regular contractor's grade paint masking tape in the vanilla color. I'm using 1.5-inch rolls. We stock 1 inch, 1.5-inch, and 2-inch widths. Okay, now here I have taped off the baseboards on one of the walls and the trim around the doorway using the product from SureTape. That's that 8-day green indoor paint masking tape that is, we had mentioned earlier, is supposed to stick really well to painted woods, the CP20. And so I've taped off here, just covering, because I'm only going to be painting the drywall part, not the trim or the baseboard. So this will be masking off, hopefully, and preventing any paint from bleeding onto the trim work. Over here on this side of the door, I've again used the regular SureTape CP66 the vanilla colored indoor painter's tape, again to mask off the trim around the door and the baseboards down this wall. Okay, it's been 24 hours. I have painted a couple of the main walls in the office and the paint is dry, so we're ready now to remove some of the tape that we applied yesterday and see the results. This first tape that we're going to remove here is the CP66. This is the just regular vanilla colored indoor contractor's grade masking tape. And as you can see, I did get a little careless with my painting and got on the tape. Hopefully it's protected my baseboards and they're still nice and white underneath. So I'm going to start here in the corner and lift up, and hopefully it's all going to come off in one piece. Came off very easily, no hassle. So let's take a look at some of the areas where we know that we had some overspill on the tape, and you can see it's nice and clean. There's no gray paint on the white baseboards. Yay! So I don't have to clean that up. And you can see, short of my probably not getting it really good, but it is a pretty good sharp paint line on here. Lack of my proper painting skills, but this is also a baseboard that is very close to the wall. There's not very much play here in order to be able to tell what's the wall and where's the baseboard. So I'm pretty happy with that result, and hopefully you will be too in your job. So we also came over here and we masked off around the trim on the door where we did have obviously some much thicker trim work here. Again, this is still the CP66 that I used on this side of the door. Did have a little bit of splintering here. Could be the way I was putting stress on the tape. So it's coming off pretty easily. And then I went across the top. Okay. See if there's any way you can get it tight. Just to see that looks like it did its job there as well. The green painter's tape that we used, the Sure Tape CP20, which again is a good paint grade masking tape for indoor painting, where the manufacturer stated that it works really well when you're sticking it to drywall or plaster or painted wood, etc. But it is an indoor paint tape you can leave up for as long as 8 days, and it's still removed cleanly without leaving a residue. I have only had this up here for 24 hours. So we'll start here at the door trim, coming off nice and easily. Oops, we had a little bit of splintering there. But you just grab it in the wider part. You should be able to get it going again. It really helps when you're removing the tape to kind of push the force towards the wall if at all possible. Absolutely perfect. So let's start with the baseboards. Okay, I am noticing that this CP20 is having more of a tendency to split on me than the other product. So hopefully in trying to keep that from happening, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm putting more tension here as I remove it on this edge. Instead of centering it in the middle, I'm putting more of the stress right here on the edge and pulling towards the wall. Hopefully that will help in keeping the stress on the tape in the right place and prevent the splitting. And you can see from this that I did get paint on the tape, so hopefully again it did its job and protected my baseboards, and they look pretty clean through here where it was obvious my painting got on the masking tape. So as far as the protection, no bleed through or edge seeping, it does a pretty good job. The only thing I really noticed is it does have a tendency maybe to split on you when you're removing it. It wasn't terrible, but it may be an issue a little bit more than it is with the contractor's grade regular masking tape, which by the way is a less expensive product. It's just not green or blue. Okay, now we're going to remove the blue painter's tape that we put up here around the window. This tape has been up for 2 days. However, I didn't actually paint it until this morning. Looks good. I don't see any edge bleed or soak through. Now this is the CP66, just the contractor's grade masking tape. Also, this has been on the window for 2 days. However, the paint was done just a couple of hours ago. Came off nice and easy. No shredding, no bleed through. And the blue painter's tape. Again, all these products seem to perform pretty well. One thing I've noticed is with the blue painter's tape, because the adhesive on it is a little bit lower tack, if you have a lot of dust and you're probably going to have issues with the tape wanting to stay down because the dust gets in the adhesive and kind of deadens it. So if you want to use that tape, you definitely need to clean your baseboards, your walls, wherever it is that your trim that you're going to be adhering it, to make sure that it's free of a lot of dust particles. Okay, now we had put some of the blue painter's tape down on the baseboard, and you can see there is a lot of drips on it, so let's hope it protected our baseboard. Looks good so far. Coming off nice and easily. That probably occurred because that was a new piece. Just a little bit of a splinter to pick off, but again, the baseboards were nice and protected. And here's the newly finished office.